Okay, I am going to video my process of making my course. So first I wanted to just show you my area a little bit. I have this little, I'm calling it my school room that I'm using for school. And basically I have this U. It's going to come out to the carpet, come down this little section, and then turn around in this corner over here. So it'll look kind of like a U. And what I'm interested in is I have 3 different surfaces. I have those 2 rugs and I have a carpet here, so we'll see how it goes. But I wanted to talk about measuring each of these distances. So I have 2 ways to measure. One is using the ruler that I gave you. Unfortunately, this is kind of the lame method, but it might be what we have to do. If you're going to do that, you're going to put the edge at the edge of your course. Like I don't want it under the couch, I want it as where my actual course starts. And then come over here, this is 12 inch. So I'm gonna put my finger here where the 12 inch, I'm trying to do this with one hand, and move my ruler back over to the beginning, over here to the end, so that's 12 inches. Now I'm up to 24 inches, kind of put my finger. And then I have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches on this end. So I have 24 plus 6, so this space is 30 inches long. So if you have to use your ruler, you just kind of have to add up how many 12-inch rulers you have in that length. If you have a tape measure at home, that's definitely the easier method. That's what I would use in the classroom. I just didn't have 30 tape measures to send everybody home. So in that case, I would put one end of my tape measure at the beginning. Hold it down here. Sorry, this video is going to be absolutely terrible. Go all the way across, and there we go. It adds up to 30 inches. So my little hallway is 30 inches wide. So I'm going to do that for all the dimensions, make some notes on it, and then talk again on my notebook. Okay, so I've taken my measurements. Let me explain them a little bit. This is just a rough sketch of that U shape I showed you. And this is the 30 inches that I just measured. So I also measured this length here is 70 inches. This one was 45, and this one was about 45. And then this one went back in about 50. I probably could have gone a couple more inches under my table, but I thought 50 inches was plenty for my course, so I just rounded to 50 and figured I'll just use that part. If I wanted to know this length, I could just add up my 40, my 70, my 45, my 70, and my other 45. This, again, on my other U, turned out it went in about 50 inches. One obstacle I had is right here I have a little end table that kind of was cutting out into the carpet. So that one was, I measured here too, this was 37 inches, and then this is about 40 inches in. So this is my general rough sketch. My next step is going to be to determine the scale factor so I can make an exact sketch on my next page in my notebook. This is where I'm going to put my exact sketch of my course. So this is just my rough sketch. By the way, everything was in inches. So I'm going to say that right now, and then I'm going to work out my scale factor next. Here's my calculations. The first thing I did is I measured, my longest side was 160 inches. That was kind of this length here, the 70 plus 45 plus 45. And then my notebook was about 9.5 inches. I said 9 inches to give me some margin. So when I divide these, I got a scale factor of 17.78. Well, that sounds terrible. So I recognize that 160 and 9 is close to 160 and 8. So I decided to use this scale factor instead. I can just make my drawing be 8 inches, uses up most of my paper, and then it will be such a much nicer number. So now that tells me that 1 inch in my drawing equals 20 actual inches of my race course. So the next thing I would want to go through and do, and I'm probably going to get a different colored pencil here, is all these measurements, I'm going to divide by 20 to get what my scaled measurement would be, since my scale factor here is 1 inch equals 20 inches. So for example, 50 divided by 20, so that would be 2.5. So this length would be 2.5 inches in my scaled drawing. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to need my calculator to do this, but to divide all of these by 20. And then I'll have my scaled drawing measurements. Okay, I've done these calculations I just mentioned for each of my little sections. So now I know how far on my drawing those are going to be. So I know overall that my whole drawing is going to be 8 inches tall. And it's going to be, let's see, this is 2.5 plus 1.5, and this, so that's 4 inches wide. So over here, I'm going to start by kind of making an 8-inch by 4-inch box using my ruler, because I want this to be exact on the graph paper. 8-inch by 4-inch, using the ruler in exact scale drawing, and then I'll mark in my other sections as well. Just wanted to talk a little bit about measurements here. Over here, the length of my little space here is, for the most part, it's 2.25 inches, except for my little blockage with my furniture. So I'm looking for 2 1/4. 2.25 is 1/4, 1/4. So when I come over on my ruler, I'm going to go 2. And then if I'm looking at my marks, this is 2.5. This is 2 1/4 or 2.25. So if you're struggling to convert between inches and decimals, since they're not both base 10, you can always flip your ruler over and do everything metric, because those might be a lot easier if you just use centimeters from the beginning. But I started in inches, so I'm sticking with my inches, even though metric is a lot easier to convert. So 2.25 is 2 1/4. So again, this is half, quarter, eighth on your ruler. Completed the outline of my area drawn to scale. The next thing I have to think about is what my robot will actually, how it can move in here. So I'm guessing I'm just going to go down, do a little loop, come back, and do a loop over here and turn and end. But I need to next measure my robot and kind of just draw a picture on there so I can see, should I have my robot go down one side and come back the other? Is there enough room for 2 lanes? Or do I need to just go down and kind of come back in the same lane? So that's my next step. I'm designing my course. The more complicated course does get you a little bit more points if you look at the rubric, but you just need to work with the space that you have. Again, I'm just going to go down, turn around, come back, turn around here, and come back. That's my plan. I just have to draw that out next. Okay, I found my robot size, and it's not exact because there were some decimals that you can't even estimate to in this small of a scale, but it's a little over 1/2 inch on either side, and it's a little bit longer than width. So I know that if I make my course 3 squares by 3 squares in every direction, that I should theoretically be able to get my robot to maneuver. Obviously, if I have room around the corners, that would be a little bit better, but all I need are 3 squares. So next, I'm going to draw my course. Okay, and here is a picture of my course. So I just basically made what I just talked about, but I measured it all out. I made sure I have 3 squares on either side, which is larger than my robot. I also just noticed, by the way, that my graph paper here is 1/4 inch per square. So 1 inch is 4 squares. So that can help you out with your drawing too. 1 inch is 4 squares. I also added in my little table leg and made sure I gave myself plenty of room so I'm not hitting my table leg. So I'm looking at my course. I'm anticipating this turn to be probably my toughest turn. And maybe this one. I think I'll have enough room down here, but this one is probably going to be my hardest turn to make my course. Oh, and then maybe back in if I want to come all the way back in and start it at the end. So the last thing that I want to do before I actually practice my robot is I'm going to measure these same distances, and I'm going to put some tape on my carpet and on my floor to show me where my course is. So the points that I really care about is maybe I'm just going to put a tape right here, a little X. I don't want you to leave marks on your floor at home, and a little X right here, a little X right here, a little X right here to kind of indicate where I need to turn. I don't need tape all the way around the outside edge. I don't necessarily need tapes the whole way, just kind of really to mark off these corners. I'll show a picture of that in a minute when I get it done. We are trying our robot on the course, and it is very hard because this robot goes so fast. You're way off course there, buddy. So I'm learning lots of things. I might try modifying my course if I want to make it better, because I couldn't make it around that back corner. And I can't make it go straight. It's just totally hard. So you might want an easier course. Or out to me, huh? I'm trying to get the video. I keep getting egg drill in the way here. So yeah, knock yourself out. Do the best that you can, and it will be awesome. There you go. There you go. That was a nice turn.
Oh, dang!